I'm going to tell you a story today. What would happen if I gave it all up? What would happen? I mean, I was sitting in my studio full of doubt about money, about being a nice father and husband, and also in a relationship with money and being a nice father and a husband. Basically, about everything. The mountain was so steep. I mean, the mountain of doubt. Maybe you recognize it. You ever experienced it? What would happen? But then a childhood memory surfaced, and yeah, it helped me. So let me tell you the childhood memory. I was 10 years old and I was sleeping in my grandparents' house, and we were walking on the beach. They had a house near the beach, and we were walking and walking just like we used to do a lot of times. And we were walking at the beach and seeing the sand and the wind and hear the water. And we were walking and walking just like we used to do a lot of times. But then all of a sudden I saw an oil drum sitting at the beach. And I was kicking it and maybe pushing it around a little bit. And even before I knew it, the oil drum was out of the sand and I kept rolling it. I flipped it on the side and I rolled it and I rolled it. And we were walking along and finally heading back home, and the oil drum was still with me. So I was keep pushing it and keep pushing it. On the sand, on the beach. I didn't understand why I did it, but it was my belief that I had to do this. It didn't make sense, but it felt right. And I kept pushing it on the sand, up the stairs, and finally we arrived at my grandparents' house. Nobody understood it why I did it, but it was my conviction. It was my deliberate choice to push it on the sand, and that's where I felt something quite important, that it's also important to remember when I feel discouraged about what I'm doing and I'm full of doubt. That's the power of following your instinct, even you maybe don't understand it and the other people around you don't understand it, but it will make sense one day. This memory became a rope through the fog, and all of a sudden it became clear, not just my path forward, but also why I'm doing stuff. That old room at the beach, that was my first conscious memory of picking something and finding meaning in it and seeing something that nobody else saw. I saw the beauty of the old drum, I saw the beauty of bringing it back, giving it attention, and discovering beauty in the ordinary. This realization helped me today out of the doubt and also to shape my vision and mission. I actively search for the beauty in everyday life and find beauty in the hidden stuff that's lying around, in people that are having conversations, in maybe small stones on the ground. I'm actively searching for that beauty in everyday life, both from the past and the present, by consciously capturing the everyday beauty and transforming it into meaningful souvenirs. I show that everyday life is full of stories worth telling. In a world that constantly seeks the extraordinary, I reveal the power of the ordinary through photography, film, and text, or a combination of it. I discover beauty in common moments, just like the old room was worthless to anybody around it, but not for me. In my work, this is how I try to help people, showing that ordinary moments are worth living and worth remembering and bringing into the future. My work is successful when it touches people and reminds them that their own story is worth telling and worth remembering. The doubt I felt, it taught me that sometimes the greatest clarity comes from the greatest doubt.